Hello. So, quick little video here today about dads in recovery. I'm many of you know me. I suspect I just imagine that many of you know me if you're catching a live video on my Facebook channel, and you know that I've been in recovery many years. Oh, many years, too many years, and not too many years, but a long time, and I'm a dad. I have 3 kids and 5 grandchildren, and I love to work with men in recovery who are fathers. Hi, Shane. And I have had, kind of focused on that over the last couple of years and really gone deep into the subject. And having, my daughter was 6 months old when I first sobered up. And, so my whole recovery, I've been a father and gone through lots of stuff. I mean, I had no idea how to be a dad. I was, and even, 10 years in recovery, 15 years in recovery, I was still, challenged by the job of being a father. And working with men who are in recovery, who are dads, has been a great thing. It's something we don't talk about a lot in the rooms, and it's a job that we don't get a lot of training in. And it was kind of a job that we think we're supposed to know how to do it. It's a bit like being in a long-term relationship. We often, many of you relate to this, we don't get much training in that either. And these two really important things, one being in a long-term relationship and the other one being a dad, we get very little training. It's a, kind of a training in the field and kind of a thing. And many of us didn't have great role models. God bless our dads. But many of us didn't have great role models, and so here we are. And some of the things that really freak men out, when they're as a dad. I can tell you some of the stuff that I went through. Many of us, I'll back up a little bit. I'm actually working with a guy right now, and he's got a son that's acting out, and one of our greatest fears as dads in recovery is that our kids are going to be like us, that they're going to be addicts and alcoholics, and the chances are good, that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So that's a big thing, and I love working with men around that. That is something that I went through, and my kids drove me to Al-Anon. They certainly did. Hi, Milt. Good to see you, buddy. And talk about dads in recovery. And it doesn't matter how old we are either, Often, though, men seems to be in their 30s or 40s when they come to me, and say, geez, I'm really struggling here with my relationship with my kids. And another thing that happens, it's a big one, like a pain point, if you will, is that we can't see our kids. And yeah, we can go the legal route trying to get access and all of that, but if we can't see our kids, that's tough. And I like working with men who are, I'm not talking about newcomers, although, newcomers in recovery so much, but men who are having struggle to spend time with their children. And, that's the work that I do. So, a couple of big examples of things that happen in our recovery world, as a father. One is our kids, also are struggling with addiction and alcoholism, and that's tough. That's hard, and that's the job that I've chosen, is to work with men that are in that situation. Oh, another one that a pain point, is I remember I also I got divorced in recovery twice, and I got divorced twice in recovery, and 2 wonderful ladies, and who are still, in my life, and who I love, but they both at different times went off with other men because they were single and they weren't, the pain of my children being in another home where, with another man, and so I love to work with men in recovery around that. If you can relate to this, You can relate to this, you know. If you know a man that's going through this, you know, he's got kids and one or two or three or 10, and maybe he hasn't seen them in years sometimes, you know, and he doesn't talk about it because who the hell are you going to talk about that with, you know, that has any information for you, is going to be able to support you in it, and that's my job. So I'm going to do I did one last year. I'm going to do one again, date to be announced, but I think we'll start in May. I did a course last year with 14 fellas, all men who had situations that they wanted to examine and deal with, and I'm going to do another one coming up in May, and I do one-on-one stuff as well. So yeah, just putting it out there. I don't have a kind of a fancy website or anything yet, and although I was talking to a buddy today who said, David, you gotta have a website, and I suppose I'll do that, you know. But right now I know a lot of people in recovery, and you guys all know lots of people who are dads in recovery that might want some support, and I'm the guy. So that's it, dads in recovery, and think of those three things that are just like, oh, killers, you know, and I don't know which one's the biggest, you know. Not being able to see our kids, that's tough, boy, oh boy, you know, or having our children going down the same path we went, you know, you got a 13 or 14-year-old daughter and she's coming home drunk, wow, you know, but it happens, and you know, so I'm here to support you on that. Thank you, Laura Lee. Got a good tan. Yes, it's good to be back in Alberta, and we'll have an Alberta tan again. Okay, love you guys. If you have anybody that, you know, send them my way, and I'm just going to talk about this, put it out, and kind of get to be known, I think, as this is my field. Okay, love you, lots, and if you're a man and you're listening to this and you're a dad in recovery and you're going through this shit, this will pass. We'll help you get through it. Okay. Cheers. Love you.